5 years ago, I built this. And today, we're completely rebuilding it from the ground up. Look, it's 2026, and I have a strict rule for my workshop. If a piece of tech doesn't charge over USB-C, it doesn't get a spot on my shelf. Period. We're talking new housing, a custom 3D printed backplate, precision wiring, and a modern power overhaul with the transition to USB-C. The goal is simple: turn an outdated, dusty DIY kit into a premium, retail-grade handheld that belongs in 2026. Let's get to it. I put a lot of sweat into modifying that original plastic case, but 5 years is a long time in tech, and this build is officially out of spec. Today we're giving this classic Raspberry Pi Compute Module 3 Plus the ultimate treatment. The brains are migrating to a premium, precision-made blue anodized aluminum shell from BoxyPixel. The goal? Turn the outdated micro USB charging into modern retail-grade USB-C power delivery, but it won't be easy. Another problem is that BoxyPixel doesn't manufacture the backplates for this specific kit anymore, meaning we're going to have to engineer our own solutions. The micro USB port is the entire reason this handheld ended up on the shelf, so it's the first thing to go. We're removing it from the FreePlay board to anchor our new USB-C Breakout. In addition to disconnecting the signal and voltage pads, we have to remove the anchor points here from the PCB. With the connector removed and the pads cleaned up, we can wire up the USB-C Breakout. It's surgical, tight work, but this is the core of the 2026 upgrade. To keep things moving, I will quickly show the wiring diagram that shows how to add the USB-C Breakout. When we zoom into the micro USB connector on the PCB, you can see there are 5 pads. We're going to tie the V-bus to the 5th pad on the far right to carry 5 volts from the USB-C connector to the FreePlay PCB. This location not only provides 5 volts directly to the CM3, but also charges the lithium-ion battery pack. Then we just connect the USB-C ground to the ground connector directly on the FreePlay PCB, and our rewiring job is complete. Here is a close-up of the completed wiring job that matches up with the diagram. And before we fully secure the USB-C breakout board to the FreePlay, let's plug a USB-C cable in and do a quick check. It works. Now we need to attach the breakout board. Here I'm using some very thin double-sided contact tape to get everything in the right place, and then I follow up with some 2-part clear weld epoxy to lock it down. This sets in about 5 minutes, giving you time to move things around if needed, and fully cures in just under an hour. The last part of this mod is to make room for the new USB-C connector on the aluminum case. I went slow, starting with my rotary tool, then a large rasp file, followed by a microfile. It took a few minutes, but now everything snaps together without obstruction. While we wait for the epoxy to fully cure, let's tackle the missing backplate. After some careful measuring, I designed a custom rear panel in Fusion 360 and threw it on the 3D printer. Not only does it protect the Pi, but it lets me brand this project with a textured Mr. Armageddon Builds logo. For the buttons, I had these generic ones with the A stamped on all of them. A little light sanding and a quick polish deletes the letters, leaving a clean, mirror finish, prototype style look. Now on to the final assembly. All modifications are complete, and it's time to bring this FreePlay CM3 Plus into 2026. This isn't meant to be a detailed build guide, so for the assembly, we're running at hyperspeed. Newly polished buttons are in, we connect the 3.2-inch screen, then seat the custom FreePlay PCB into place. Battery is connected. Now the critical brains, this Raspberry Pi Compute Module 3 Plus, snaps into the socket. Shoulder button's attached, and the power slider is seated. To handle that refit power delivery, we're integrating this custom-cut, low-profile heatsink. Every millimeter of this design counts. Finally, aligning our custom 3D printed backplate. The final screws go in, and that's a job well done. Everything drops perfectly into this aluminum BoxyPixel housing. No plastic creaks, no cheap flexing. The sheer weight and cold feel of the analyzed metal instantly elevates this hardware. This is one of those upgrades you only truly understand the second you pick it up. Look at that. Clean I/O, premium weight and feel, and it charges over USB-C. The big takeaway here, although this is an older internal setup, wrapping it in a premium aluminum and adding USB-C proves it can bring absolute enjoyment to anyone in 2026. It modernizes the entire experience. What started as a forgotten project from 2019 is now one of the nicest handhelds in my collection. But this build wasn't just about preserving old tech. It's about the pure enjoyment of an engineering victory. Now we've perfected the hardware, but there's a problem. The actual operating system is completely locked in 2019. and this thing needs a serious performance boost. I'm thinking about driving into a full software overhaul next, but only if there's real interest. So if you want to see exactly how I optimize a Compute Module 3 Plus for modern emulation in 2026, let me know in the comments below. That software overhaul video is yours if you want it. Until then, thanks for stopping by the workbench. Keep building, and we'll see you next time.